Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Me, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. In today's video, we're going to talk about the leaked information about chapter 1040 of the One Piece manga. We'll talk about all the information we have so far about this upcoming chapter, and then we'll comment on each piece of information, so then we can put it all together, get a really good idea about what we are expected to see in this upcoming chapter. As we also like to clarify at the beginning of these videos, these are just leaks, and we don't have the complete information of this chapter. So as leaks come out, we'll be sure to bring you more videos to give you the maximum detail and keep you informed about what we are going to see in this next chapter. In addition to that, many things might be said in a different way when the official translation comes out, or certain events might happen in a different order. Hey everyone, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Now, maybe you've heard about it online, or maybe you've been a player for a long time. Let me take you on a little tour and tell you about all the great things that are happening in the Raid universe. Raid Shadow Legends is a turn-based RPG game available for Android, iOS, and computers, and it has PvE, PvP, and all kinds of fun challenges. But the heart of this game really is the heroes. Collect and train your own team of warriors, sorcerers, archers, and many other classes where each character has its own unique history as well as a skill. Now, in addition to their base strength, it's also possible to make them stronger through equipment and other improvements that are unlocked as you progress through the game. And this is what allows you to take on the most formidable of enemies down through the stories. Each battle requires very careful planning because you have to choose which heroes to use and when to use their special abilities and even how to react to enemy tactics. So each hero plays a crucial role in the team, from tanks that take damage to healers that keep the team in the fight. In Raid Shadow Legends, you can challenge yourself by exploring complex dungeons and facing epic bosses that will test all of your skills and strategies. As you go out to discover powerful artifacts, equipment, and other valuable resources, progressing through dungeons and taking on enemies, make sure you're ready to fight ancient dragons, sinister demons, and many other kinds of enemies. In addition to the main campaign, Raid Shadow Legends offers a variety of game modes to keep you engaged as well as challenged. Participate in PvP arena battles to test your team against other players, join forces with other players in clans, and participate in clan battles for exclusive rewards. So if you're ready to start your adventure and would also like to support this channel, use the code JTSKIN, that is JTSKIN, and get one of the most amazing epic champions, the Stag Knight. And he's also accompanied by an exclusive skin designed by John Tron. So just enter the promo code by October 7th to get this special offer. And once you click the link, or if you use the QR code that's on the screen, you'll also be rewarded with a free starter pack containing valuable in-game loot. And the good stuff doesn't stop there. Between August 22nd and October 23rd, you could get the powerful champion Sun Wukong. All you need to do is log in 7 different days between August 22nd and October 23rd, and you can add this amazing champion to your collection. So don't waste time. Come on this exciting adventure with Raid Shadow Legends, and make sure you hit that game link in the description below. So my friends, in this second leak of chapter 1070, we've gotten a lot more information and some key images that are going to be shown in this next chapter, which is going to allow us to think about certain possibilities and better analyze the events of chapter 1070, which is going to be titled The Strongest Humans. On the cover of the chapter, we see the 5 great scientists gathered together with a sentence saying that they were united for the world and for humanity, which means that they're responsible for all genetic alteration research, devil fruits, and many other experiments that have been done around the world. The 5 scientists belong to the old organization called MADS, and its main members seem to be Vegapunk, Caesar Clown, Vinsmoke Judge, Queen, and an unnamed woman who is also on the cover with them. Anytime we've seen this character in the story, they've appeared with Stussy, who is a current CP0 agent. Now, the first thing that links Stussy with this scientist happened during the Whole Cake Island arc. Stussy uses a technique called a flying pistol finger, a technique that originates from a body modification, not a devil fruit. In addition to that, Stussy used this technique on Fell, the former financial provider for MADS. And when using this technique on, Stussy calls her an old friend and apologizing for doing this to him, proving that she did know him. And finally, recently, when they made landfall on Egghead with the help of Esper, Stussy said that she had missed the place and knew all the traps that existed around Egghead, proving that she might be this mysterious scientist, or at least knows the scientist that worked alongside Vegapunk in the past, and has just now become a CP0 agent. But getting back to the events of the chapter, it starts with Luffy apologizing to Sentomaru for distracting him before Lucci's attack, and Sentomaru replies that he shouldn't underestimate Lucci's skills. Sentomaru said that when he saw Lucci approaching to attack, although he raised his guard to block the CP0 leader's strike, he couldn't resist Lucci's strength, demonstrating that Lucci really is quite quite powerful with his Fruit Awakening, along with his Rokushiki techniques that are even more powerful than after the last time he and Luffy crossed paths, all the way back in Enies lobby. In the next scene, the Seraphim start attacking CP0, and S-Snake uses the powers of the animenomi and petrified several of the CP0 agents. S-Hawk uses his sword, and S-Shark punches the ground, turning it into waves. When seeing the S-Shark use this ability, Frankie starts crying and asks if that little Jinbei's ability would be the power of the Sui Sui no meat fruit, belonging to his sworn brother in the Don Quixote family, Senor Pink. Then Frankie questions Vegapunk, asking if Senor Pink had died, but Vegapunk says Senor Pink was well alive and currently serving as a prisoner in Impel Down, and this seems to calm Frankie down. Vegapunk goes on to say that the Seraphim have artificial devil fruits, and that's why they're the strongest humans in the sea. However, Vegapunk couldn't guarantee if the Seraphim are capable of awakening their fruits, so he gives more information about the artificial devil fruits. It seems that Zoan fruits are really the only ones that can be made reliably so far. Now, Vegapunk can make a mythical Zoan fruit, but it requires a great deal of time and money, making them extremely difficult to craft. To make Paramecia devil fruits, Vegapunk needs the actual user's bloodline factor to create something called green blood, which grants the devil fruit powers. All Seraphim have green blood flowing in their arms. As for the Logia fruits, Vegapunk says that he had tried his best to create them, but they were extremely difficult to make. Now, we don't know if Vegapunk has any artificially made Logia fruit available, or if there are any guinea pigs that might have tried the fruit, since he doesn't really comment any further about it. The CP0 try to fight off the Seraphim, but they're easily taken out, and Kaku and Stussy don't join the fight. They're just watching the clashes that are taking place on Egghead. The scenes next focus on Luffy and Lucci's fight, where Luffy has the advantage in the battle because Lucci can't hit him. So Lucci tries to change tactic by running towards Senamaru to finish the job when he sees that he was still alive. Luffy appears in front of Senamaru to block him and raises his head and opens his mouth to swallow Lucci, but Lucci manages to dodge it. Luffy then cuts the ground and throws the debris in his mouth and throws it towards Lucci. Luffy then uses the Gomu Gomu no Dawn whip first, and then attacks Lucci with a Gomu Gomu no Dawn rocket. Lucci is seen coughing up blood and thinks to himself the same sentence he thought when Luffy attacked him with Gear 3rd during Enies lobby. Lucci tells him that he's losing consciousness, and as Luffy attacks him, a huge explosion erupts. Next we move to Jinbei and Chopper, who are carrying Atlas, and S-Snake shows up and points to where a vacuum rocket is so that they can get there and get Atlas to safety. Jinbei praises her for being nice, and S-Snake blushes just like the real Boa Hancock would have. Then we go back to Luffy's fight against Lucci. Sentomaru tells Luffy to go to the vacuum rocket and help Dr. Vegapunk get off the island, and Chopper also tells Luffy to hurry up and come with them if he wants to save Atlas. So Luffy decides to break off from the battle and go to the lab with them. While heading to the lab, it's possible to see that Luffy is really tired out from using Gear 5th, having his tongue sticking out very similar to Dr. Vegapunk, and he's accompanied by Bonnie, who is just not understanding everything that had been just going on. Bonnie asks where Vegapunk was, and then when looking at Luffy, she gets a very scared expression, asking who he was, but then, as if almost no time transpired, they arrive at the top of Egghead Island. The next set of panels seems to take place sometime after the confrontation, in the city at the bottom of Egghead, where we can see Lucci with some bandages on his face, seem to have already recovered from his fight with Luffy, and then he starts talking to Kaku and Stussy. Lucci decides to wait for the Marines to arrive before they start acting again, because it would be complicated for them to do something against a Yonko crew with just the three of them, and also Vegapunk could be preparing some kind of countermeasure. Switching back to the lab, we see Vegapunk telling Nami's group that he is going to be going with them to sea, and we see the reaction of all the Straw Hats, and Nami is especially nervous because it's gonna be a huge burden. Frankie and Usopp are really excited, and Sanji just keeps asking Vegapunk to release the leg braces. Meanwhile, Nico Robin appears to be quite happy that Vegapunk is gonna go with them, even if it's only temporarily. Frankie even asks Vegapunk to take a look at the Frankie Shogun and the Thousand Sunny and hope that Vegapunk might be able to upgrade his builds and make them all the more powerful. We then see Luffy's group arrive at the lab, but they're not in the same area as Nami's group. Bonnie seems to be completely irritated with Vegapunk and wants to find him to finally get her revenge on the great scientist. While Luffy and Bonnie continue to talk, Jinbei takes Atlas, who had been severely damaged by Lucci, into a repair room to get her body fixed. Switching scenes back to the town, we see Lucci saying that he now has full controlling authority over the Seraphim, and that they wouldn't allow the Straw Hats to help Vegapunk escape from Egghead Island. And next we're shown a panel where there's a group of CP0 agents, together with the four Seraphim, Seraphim, and they're ready to start a confrontation against the Straw Hats that are in the upper part of Egghead Island, trying to come up with an escape strategy. In the final scenes, we go to a Navy ship where we see that Kizaru is in command, and he's talking to someone on a Den Den Mushi. Kizaru says that it would be easy for the Straw Hat crew to get Vegapunk off the island, but things won't turn out the way they think. Kizaru then orders to send as many ships as possible to Egghead Island, ending the chapter with Admiral Kizaru being responsible for starting a great battle that's going to happen in the next couple chapters of One Piece. And also, for those of you who hadn't heard, next week will be a break and there isn't going to be a chapter, so it's only going to be in the new year where we'll get to continue this great confrontation that's about to take place on Egghead Island. A confrontation in which we'll get to see if Luffy is able to get Vegapunk safely off the island, or if Vegapunk's going to end up getting killed by some member of CP0 or the Navy. And we'll also get to learn if there's gonna be an actual showdown between Luffy and a bona fide admiral, because this is a matchup we haven't seen happen yet. And now that Luffy's got this Gear 5th, and despite the fact that it looks like it might be wearing him out in a worrisome way, we might get to see, can Luffy, the new Yonko, take out an admiral? But with all that said, my friends, we'd love to know what you think about it. How do you think it's gonna play out? Do you think we're gonna see the crew escape, or is it gonna be a battle? Most especially, do you think there's gonna be a clash between Kizaru and Luffy? There's been a lot of discussion about it in the community, but do you think this is gonna be something that's really gonna happen? Or is it something where there'll be a quick clash and then the rest of the battle will be saved for some time later? And last, since we didn't get to see Kuma during this chapter, when do you think we'll get to see him, and how do you think he's gonna shift the tone of the battle? Do you think his presence could calm Bonnie's nerves and want for revenge against Vegapunk? Let us know what you think about all this in the comments below. So as we bring our video to a close, we'd like to thank you all so much for watching the video, especially those of you who've hung out till the very end. Be sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like and hit that red subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I hope to see you all in our next video. Let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.